Many times do you hear words and terms like, it's not my problem, it doesn't concern me, why should I care? And then the hypocritical side of it comes to pass. You come and realize this issue, whatever you're ignoring, does affect you. You do need to do something about it. Because if you don't, then you are in trouble. And a very good example is you're walking in a street. Someone has collapsed or fainted, and they're fallen somewhere or they're almost falling. And everyone is just passing. Everyone is passing. No one is stopping. No one is asking. No one is inquiring. And everyone is rushing. And when you investigate further, people have assumed. Someone is assuming maybe that person is drunk, or they should they should take care of themselves better. You know, all the terms people use are quite inhumane to think about others without getting to the root cause of anything. So eventually it's come to be found out maybe they were ill, but the assumption knows they were drunk or on drugs or whichever it is. But again, no one cares. And then one day, that same situation becomes you or someone close to you. And you hear terms like, these people are so evil, people are so this, people are so that, and then keep forgetting. There's a seed you planted at time you had a situation you could have helped someone. But you said, not my problem, I really don't care. So why are you surprised when things go sideways? And that's where we are sadly in society, where we always want to look the other way, assume and presume that things are better. We are in a very interesting time where generations fight generations and say, you guys didn't do it better. We are here because of your flaws. The thing is, if you are in that generation, in that time, you'll be speaking the same conversation you're saying today. And because of this division, there's so much division, which to an extent makes you understand why history is always easy to be distorted. Because when, for example, we have the Gen X, we have the millennials, we have the Gen Z, we have the Generation Alpha. When all these generations are always arguing about different issues and different circumstances and situations and approaches without coming to an agreement or anything, you wonder why your politician wins. You wonder why the guys at the top of the pyramid are always successful. It's quite simple. The more divided you are, the more you are easy to control. Because all you have to do is plant seeds of unforgiveness, seeds of greed, seeds of ego, so many types of seeds. But we keep forgetting we all need each other. For example, you're in another country, so I'm from Africa, for example, unless it's someone from another country or a race which they believe is superior than Africa. And let's say you're on a platform. If I'm on that platform and that owner of that platform is of the quote-unquote the superior race, if I'm not using the content, if I'm not building content, or if I'm not like supporting other person's content, where there's like, where they share, where there's comment, where there's also doing my own content, is the person on the other side not benefiting from my actions, me being on that platform? So you all pull out from that inferior race, as they call it. What happens to the superior race in that situation? They don't have a market share. So don't we not need each other? We do. Or let's look at business. You have a business, you want to establish it in a particular country. You believe you are either superior, either by race, by status, by your connections. But you need to establish your business in a place where you feel they're more inferior. If they don't buy into your product, then are you not losing? The thing is, sometimes I look at how people go against each other and hate each other. And sometimes I ask myself, nobody wins in this game. or the way you will be called out by your nation, let's go fight another nation. I mean, this is a very good example. So let's put an example whereby it's a man, he has a wife, he has a daughter or a son, or let's say both or even one. They go to war. They move into their other country or whatever place they have been sent. And then they meet another man who has a family like them. But they decide to annihilate, to ensure that that family doesn't exist the way you understand those words. And then they come home, after quote unquote a good mission. And mind you, the family they wiped out did nothing. They're just a family that sadly they're in an environment that's heated in, war or whatever it may be. So they come home and their child or children run over to their dad or to their mom and they say, "How was work?" And they smile and say, "Work was good." But what was work about? And then you sit there and you watch your children grow and you're sitting there and you're thinking, what if the same people I did do the same to me? And mind you, the people you did to did nothing wrong. They were just sadly put on a red list and they're told we don't want them. We keep forgetting the seeds we plant come back to bite us. It doesn't matter how many times. I think the best way we look at it is within our lives is families. Let's look at our uncles or our aunties. Are they people we trust? No. Sadly, no. Who are the most perpetrators of exploitation? They are those two. A lot. And what happens is, as years progress, they forget the atrocities they committed against, let's say, a particular family, because at the time, they felt they were more inferior. They grow older, they start wondering why, that particular family has no connection with them. But they forget the things they do. How many times do we see this happen? Time and time again. We see this a lot, time and time again, where you find one family, let's say they're siblings, always rivaling of another family because we always find this a lot, where one family feels more inferior than another family, and they treat the other family like they are nothing. And because maybe they want to prove to their parents or the community they are rich, they are powerful, and they really bring down a particular family. Maybe, but as years progress, that family rises from the rubble to which they were cast down on. Now they're in a place of power. Now they're in a place of superiority. And now that family that was once claimed to be powerful is inferior at this point. And so they are thinking, oh, man, we're cooked. These guys will do evil. Only for them to be surprised that the family they brought down will give them food, clothes, even a place to rest, but want no association. The scars you inflict on another person, at the time you're inflicting it, you may think you're untouchable. You may think, you know what, no one can see what I'm doing. But the thing is, the scars you inflict on that person, they become a mark in their life forever. From physical to emotional, mental, and even spiritual. They are seeds you are planting. And whatever seeds you are planting, you will reap them. How is the interesting part. So every time you have a chance to do something right, do it. When the opportunity avails itself, do it. Today is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. This second is not promised. The hatred that we are seeing in social media, the hatred we're seeing in conversation, doesn't bring any winners. We only see losers. And who's winning at the top? Your politician at the top of the pyramid. The person close to you is the best chance you have for survival. It's not the one far from you. If there's a place or there's a war, there's a natural disaster, you can't use your car. You run. Who do you think will you survive with? The person on the other side of the phone is the person who's next to you. That's the person you have to survive with to reach the other end. Let's not forget that at the end of the day, how we treat others is how we shall be treated. If you treat with love, love you receive. If you treat with hatred, hatred you will receive. So don't be surprised when you're reaping what you sowed. Plant well to reap well.